13-year-old Kamani lived in St. Ann's Bay, Jamaica, with his mother, Miss Rena. Life was simple but good. Miss Rena worked hard to make sure Kamani always had what he needed. Every morning, they would start the day with laughter and small conversations over breakfast, even if it was just a single piece of bread or a bowl of porridge. Miss Rena made every moment feel special. She'd always tell Kamani,
"Money isn't everything, my son. Love and hard work will bring you everything you need."
Kamani clung to her words. He admired his mother's strength, even in the hardest of times.
Gosh, Kamani, you're not fear cry. Them not you're nothing. Move the farm and lake one on with that big rock here.
She found ways to make him smile. Miss Rena worked tirelessly to keep food on the table, doing odd jobs around the neighborhood, helping to clean houses, wash clothes, or take care of children. She'd send Kamani to the shop whenever she could spare a few dollars, asking him to buy mackerel, rice, or whatever else she could afford that day.
Go buy 2 pound of rice, 1 tin of mackerel. I'll hurry up.
Kamani would run down the road, his bare feet hitting the dusty ground, feeling like he was on a mission. He loved those errands because they made him feel grown up, responsible. One evening, after a long day of work, Miss Rena seemed unusually tired. Her face was pale, and her movements were slower than usual. Kamani noticed her struggling to catch her breath as she sat down.
"Mommy, everything all right? Why you look so sad?"
His voice full of worry. Miss Rena tried to put on a brave smile.
It's nothing, Kamani. Mommy is just a little tired.
But over the next few days, Miss Rena's health worsened. Her face became thinner, her eyes duller, and she seemed to always be in pain. And Kamani would hear her coughing late at night when she thought he was asleep. He felt powerless, watching her suffer, not knowing how to help. Miss Rena could no longer work, and their savings quickly ran out. Kamani tried to help around the house, cooking what little food they had left, cleaning and taking care of his mother as best as he could. But he was just a boy, and the burden felt overwhelming. He started waking up before dawn to do chores, hoping that a clean house or a warm bowl of rice might lift his mother's spirits. But their situation only grew more desperate. One morning, as he stood looking at the nearly empty cupboard, Kamani felt a pang of fear unlike anything he had felt before. What would they do if his mother couldn't get better? What if she never could? Desperation gripped him. With no family to turn to and no money, he began stealing. He started small. He would slip a mango or a few bananas into his pocket from a local vendor when they weren't looking. He told himself it was harmless, just something to get by, but as his mother's health continued to decline, he found himself growing bolder. He started taking money from people's pockets or lifting small items he thought he could sell. Each time he did it, he felt a gnawing sense of guilt, but he pushed it down. "It's for Mama," he would whisper to himself, clutching the stolen money or food tightly in his hand.
"After me nana choice."
But his actions soon attracted attention.
Yeah, man, Rena boy a thief, man, him a thief.
Yeah.
Rena boy a thief. Throw it in and just a thief and thief.
For sure.
Rena boy a thief, man, yeah. Therefore broke him up. Small and thief.
The townsfolk noticed the missing coins and items, and whispers started spreading about a young thief in St. Ann's Bay. One day, as he was reaching into the pocket of an older man, a hand grabbed his wrist. Kamani froze, his heart pounding as he looked up into the stern face of a police officer.
"Are you a young thief when they have bought the place, yeah?"
The officer demanded, his voice sharp. Tears filled Kamani's eyes.
I'm my mother. She not nothing and she really sick. I mean, have nobody forgive me nothing. She's sick. Mom is sick.
The officer
She's
sighed,
sick.
That
shaking
no
his
mean
head.
nothing. Stealing is stealing. And you're a thief. Because your people them not have nothing, therefore can't take people things.
He released Kamani with a warning, but the shame and fear lingered long after. Kamani's heart felt heavier than ever as he walked away. He wanted to cry, to scream, to beg someone to understand. He needed help, but no one seemed to care. The next day at school, he mustered the courage to tell his teacher about his mother's illness, hoping for advice or a little support. He shared everything, his voice trembling as he explained their struggle, the hopelessness he felt. But the teacher only sighed in frustration.
Nigga, why you? So everybody not have them trouble too. After your life not sadder than nobody else. That tell me foolish how many years I'm going and see it.
Dismissing the boy's plea. The words hit Kamani like a slap in the face. His heart felt like he was breaking all over again. Without another word, he turned and walked out of the school, determined not to come back. He didn't belong here, he thought bitterly. He didn't belong anywhere. Later that day, Kamani found himself wandering through the market. He had nowhere else to go, and the familiar streets felt like the only safe place left. As he walked, he noticed a well-dressed woman browsing the stalls with a young boy by her side. She had a fancy purse and was wearing a necklace that sparkled in the sunlight. Her clothes were clean and new, unlike Kamani's worn-out shirt and shorts. Without thinking, he slipped close to her, his hand reaching out. In one quick motion, he lifted her wallet from her purse and began to walk away. But as he turned to leave, he glanced back and noticed the boy with her. The child looked up at his mother with a sad, hungry expression that struck a painful chord in Kamani's heart. The look reminded him of the many times he had looked up at his own mother, hoping she would find enough food for them both. He hesitated, clutching the wallet in his hand, feeling a familiar pang of guilt. Finally, he turned back and walked up to the woman. He said softly, holding out the wallet.
I'm sorry. Here is your wallet.
The woman looked at him, surprised and confused. She took her wallet back, her eyes narrowing as she looked at the boy in front of her.
Why would you take my wallet? What's going on? What happened?
She asked, her tone not angry but filled with concern. Kamani took a shaky breath and told her everything. He poured out his heart, telling her about his mother's illness, his helplessness, and the desperation that had driven him to steal. Tears streamed down his face as he spoke, unable to hold back his pain any longer.
I don't want to do this, but this is what I have to do.
As he finished, he looked down, ashamed and expecting her to scold him. But when he glanced up, he saw that she had tears in her eyes too. She knelt down and placed a gentle hand on his shoulder.
It's okay. You don't have to worry. I know what it's like.
She said softly, her voice trembling.
I grew up poor just like you, and I had to do things that I'm not proud of. But you're still young, and you don't have to go down this path.
She took a deep breath, her gaze softening in front of her.
You see that store over there? Yes, I own it. I will give you a job. You don't have to steal no more to help your mommy.
Kamani stared at her in disbelief. Her kindness, her understanding. It felt like a miracle. He wiped his eyes, trying to find the words, but all he could manage was a choked, "Thank you." That night, as he lay beside his mother, he whispered a prayer to God.
Most High, please forgive me. I will never steal ever again. I didn't mean it.
Kamani began working at the shop, learning how to stock shelves, sweep floors, and greet customers. The woman taught him patiently, treating him with respect and kindness. Each day he earned a little money, enough to buy food and a bit of medicine for his mother. He grew stronger, more determined, finding a sense of pride in his
Mommy
work.
love you so much. Come.
One evening, as he walked home, counting his earnings, he was stopped by a group of older boys. One of them held a small gun, pointing it at Kamani's chest. His face twisted in a sneer.
Yeah, thiefing boy. Give me what you have. Yeah, man, I ain't see
Kamani's
one man
heart raced with
thief.
fear as they walked closer towards him.
In the quiet hills of Portland, Jamaica, lived a man named Leon. He was a hard-working man, known for his loyalty to family and his deep love for his mother, Miss Cynthia. Leon had always been his mother's pride and joy, the eldest son who helped her raise his younger siblings after his father passed away. Miss Cynthia had devoted her life to Leon, and in turn, Leon always felt he owed her everything. And Leon met Simone, a beautiful, kind-hearted woman who brought light into his life. Simone loved Leon deeply, but she quickly realized that there was one obstacle in their relationship that would test her patience and strength: Miss Cynthia. From the very beginning, Miss Cynthia didn't take kindly to Simone. She saw her as an outsider, someone who was stealing her son away. Miss Cynthia made no effort to hide her disdain, and she would constantly make snide remarks.
Look how long me there wait for the little soup until now she cannot give it to me. But I guess she want me catch up in the evening, yeah. Me already tell her, say me have a headache, you know. It's so finished, Miss Cynthia. Just give me like 5 more minutes. No, man, but 5 minutes must gone on over with, no, man. You are young girl. You must can figure out something to make the pot work quicker. And where you get this woman from, this slow cook?
Simone tried to rise above it, telling herself that with time, things would improve, but Miss Cynthia's presence loomed over their marriage like a storm cloud. Leon, ever the dutiful son, was blind to the tension between the two women. He didn't want to believe that his mother could be disrespectful, so he would dismiss Simone's complaints.
Leon, you know your mother going for the little soup.
Simone, I just saw mommy steal, man. You have to just laugh it off with her and call it a day, no follow her up.
Me understand what you're saying, but gosh, she still have to learn how to talk to people. Cause it's not like she's sick or nothing. She have sense.
Yeah, that I choose still, you know, man. But remember, see, I'm my mother, and she grew me. I mean, knows that she like you, man. No follow her up, no peer, no mind.
Miss Cynthia had made it clear that she didn't like Simone and wasn't going to back down. And as the weeks turned into months, the situation became worse. One Sunday morning, Leon, Simone's Miss Cynthia were heading to Ocho Rios to visit Simone's sister. Leon pulled up in the driveway, ready to take both women to Ocho Rios. As they approached the car, Miss Cynthia walked straight to the passenger side and stood there, arms folded, expecting to sit in the front seat beside Leon. Simone paused, confused. She had always ridden in the front seat with her husband. It was the natural order of things, but Miss Cynthia, as always, expected to be first in everything.
Anyways, me is the one that's gonna sit in the front seat. No young woman or no woman at all cannot come between me and my son. I will be the one sitting in the front seat next to my son.
She looked at Leon, expecting him to say something, but Leon just gave a weak smile, trying to avoid conflict.
Simone, remember what I tell her yesterday? Mommy is alright, coming at the front. Simone, go and sit down in her back. Sit down in her back and get some fresh breeze.
That was the breaking point for Simone. She felt her blood boil, the sting of disrespect cutting deep. She had been patient for so long, biting her tongue for the sake of peace, but now she felt humiliated.
So you're gonna tell me, say, do not pay her any man again?
Her voice trembling with anger.
Then in no sense, you know, hear what she just say. No woman cannot come between you and her. What is she talking about? Do you not feel like she was throwing some type of slur at me? You know, say me do not like your style, but you see your head shape. You feel like you say me not. Cha, you know I'm going at this car.
Before Leon could respond, Simone stormed to the back of the car, opened the door, and slammed it shut as hard as she could. She didn't want to be part of this charade any longer. Miss Cynthia, ever the instigator, stood smugly by the front door, pretending as if she hadn't heard a thing. Leon drove in silence, his hands gripping the steering wheel tightly, while Miss Cynthia comfortably in the front, not even glancing back at Simone. Her mind racing with anger, disappointment, and hurt. The next day, the conflict escalated once more. It was Sunday, and in Jamaica, Sunday dinners are sacred. Simone had prepared a meal: fried chicken, steamed vegetables and white rice. She had been tired after a long week and decided to keep things simple. But the moment Miss Cynthia saw the white rice on the table, she let out a loud, dismissive sigh.
Lord, what is this? White rice on a Sunday? What a disrespect. Leon, you can do better than this, my son. What is taking place here? What about Michelle? Michelle, where did I talk to in high school?
Simone's face flushed with anger. She had had enough of the constant criticism.
Listen, Miss Cynthia. I've been trying to be respectful for the sake of your son, but I'm gonna tell you this. If you do not like the food, you can always put it down, do not consume it, and go and make your own. But look at this. How disrespectful can you be to your own husband's mother? This is very sad. What's your tone?
Mommy, I just rice. You enough make a big thing about it.
Miss Cynthia wasn't finished.
But listen to me, son. What you mean it's not a big thing? It's actually huge. When growing up with you on a Sunday, me make sure you get a rice and peas every single Sunday. So why can never come do it this Sunday? You think say me have time for waste? Leon, we a fraud done so me come up here for you, you know. I come let me know say this a go and I not say nothing. This look good to you?
Leon sat there, his mind racing. He hated confrontation, and he especially hated being in the middle of his wife and his mother. But Simone was right. He had been putting her last for too long, and it was destroying their marriage. For years, he had been trying to keep the peace by saying nothing, by letting his mother's behavior slide. But now he could see how much that silence had hurt Simone, how it had eroded the foundation of their relationship. That night, after Miss Cynthia had gone home, Leon sat down with Simone. He looked at her, really looked at her, and saw the exhaustion, the frustration, and the deep sadness in her eyes. She had been fighting this battle alone, and he hadn't been there for her.
Me know I got you. Want me see how mommy I move towards you. But just want to tell her sorry, and me go try work things out through. Cause I'm in Madame Lover and she grow me. Me always make that overlook the fact that she's very disrespectful. I apologize for make she even talk to you or deal with you in a certain situations. I'ma just sit there and do so much. I apologize.
Simone listened, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. She had heard Leon apologize before, but this time it felt different. She could hear the sincerity in his voice, and for the first time, she felt like he truly understood the depth of her pain. The next day, visit his mother. He sat down with her at the kitchen table, but this conversation was different.
Mommy, you're my mother. Me love you, me respect you. The way you're treating Simone, my wife, me do not approve of that. But mommy, sometimes you go too far and disrespect her or let her feel bad. And nobody would like to be in a family like this for the rest of their life.
Miss Cynthia looked at her son, her face hardening.
You know what? Whatever you want to do. I'm not stressing myself. Do whatever you want to do what you please.
It's not the fact of doing whatever I want to do or do what I please. You're my mother and I will still always love and respect and appreciate you. But my wife needs to feel welcome in this family. Stop all of this comparing and disrespectful slur you've been showing to her. Just give her a break. That's all I'm asking.
Miss Cynthia stayed quiet for a long moment. She wasn't used to Leon standing up to her, and it stung her pride. But deep down she knew he was serious, and that if she didn't change her ways, she would lose him too.
All right, I hear you. You can get up off of my chair and go on now.
Leon left his mother's house that day, knowing things would never be the same. But he also knew he had made the right decision. For too long, he had tried to please everyone. But now it was time to put his marriage first. When Leon returned home, he found Simone sitting on the porch, her expression still weary from the emotional rollercoaster they had been on. He sat down beside her.
Simone, me talk to mommy. She never really did that sandwich, but by looking at her face expression, me knows that she hear messy. How she had treated her is not okay. I'm not gonna sit down no more and just watch it happen.
She could see that Trevor had finally made his choice, and for the first time in a long time, she felt hopeful about their future. From that day on, things slowly began to improve. Leon and Simone worked together to rebuild their relationship, and Leon learned to set boundaries with his mother. Miss Cynthia never fully accepted Simone, but she learned to respect the distance Leon had set. Leon continued to love his mother, but he now understood that his loyalty to his wife, and so Leon and Simone found their peace. Their marriage, once strained by outside interference, grew stronger as they learned to support each other. In the end, Leon realized that loving his wife didn't mean abandoning his mother, it simply meant protecting the love and life they had built together.
Tomato, onion.
How much for a bag of onion?
$5
Nobody
A
now buy
small
that.
town. In St. Anne, Jamaica, called Brownstown, lived Kesha. A poor but very helpful girl sat at her desk in Brownstown High School, staring at the same lunch she'd had every day this week, rice and cabbage. Her family didn't have much, but her mother always made sure she had something to eat. Still, it was hard to be proud of that when the other kids around her had fried chicken, patties and snacks from the school tuck shop. Every day it was the same. The looks, the whispers, and worst of all, Shanice. She led the pack of girls who teased her relentlessly.
But watcha, look what eat cabbage and rice again. Kesha, you ever eat anything else? I say people have none of money and poor. Might be next time I can afford some salt for put funny.
A table of girls burst out laughing, pointing at Kesha as if she was a joke. Kesha clenched her jaw, feeling the burn of shame and anger rise in her chest. She kept her eyes down, trying to ignore them, but today it was harder. She was tired of the teasing, and tired of being the target. As the lunchtime crowd grew louder, Shanice continued, her voice sharp and cruel.
You know what? We first start color cabbage and rice. That's all you'll ever do. You eat cabbage till I smell like it. Might as well you go be a farmer and start sell cabbage.
She couldn't take it anymore. Her heart pounded, and without thinking, she stood up, knocking her chair back.
If you're a real bad girl, say that again. Dry-edged Shanice. You think my fur they are done?
Everybody went silent. A circle formed around them as the kids watched with anticipation.
You love going like you're bad. Say that again.
Who bought some cabbage and rice? Why you don't like the name? Well, that me go call it till I buy different lunch.
The words stung, but Kesha wasn't backing down this time. She lunged forward, pushing Shanice back. The fight started quickly, both girls grabbing and pulling at each other, neither backing down as the crowd cheered them on. For a moment, Kesha thought she might actually lose.
Mash her up, Kesha. Sure say I'm real,
bro.
man.
One your class, little boy, you don't know.
But something inside her refused to quit. She pushed harder. The adrenaline fueled. After what felt like an eternity, the teachers rushed in, pulling them apart. Both girls were sent to the principal's office, but the damage had already been done. Later that night, Kesha sat with her mother, exhausted and bruised from the fight. She felt defeated, but her mother's words always brought comfort.
Me know life hard, but you're strong, Kesha. Don't let nobody make you feel bad just cause you don't have certain things. From you have life, anything is possible. Just pray to God about it, and He will lead you in the right place. Just trust and believe.
That days passed and the bullying didn't stop, but Kesha was more determined than ever to push through. Then, one evening everything changed. Her mother came home with the biggest smile Kesha had ever seen. She held up a lottery ticket, waving it in the air.
Kesha, we win! We win the lotto! Look how God works!
Kesha's mouth dropped open in disbelief. Her mother hugged her tightly, tears of joy in her eyes. Their lives were about to change. In a matter of weeks, Kesha's family moved into a new house.
Thank God, thank God. Yeah. What can go so? First me a cities. Otta everybody.
She got new clothes, new shoes, and lunch was no longer just rice and cabbage. The same kids who had once teased her now wanted to be her friend.
See that down.
But Kesha remembered their cruelty. One afternoon, while heading to class, she saw Shanice sitting alone under a tree, looking miserable. Rumours had spread that Shanice's family had fallen on hard times. Her father had lost his job, and now she was the one struggling. Kesha could have ignored her, could have walked by with a sense of satisfaction, but something inside her wouldn't let her. She remembered how it felt to be mocked, to be lone. Without a word, she walked over and sat down next to Shanice. Shanice looked up, surprised and embarrassed.
Come over here, Sofa. Fi do me, what me do you?
No man, me she sit down by yourself on that tree. I can't check on you to see if you're alright.
Shanice's eyes filled with tears. She couldn't believe it. After everything she'd done to Kesha, this was the last thing she expected.
Sorry, Kesha. Sorry for the way how I treat you. I just never know how I feel. My father lost his job. It's like the worst thing ever. It's like everything just dip on pause. I beg taxi fare. Me not even have lunch money.
Life hard, but you will be alright. Like a wise one who trusts in God once said, from you have life, anything is possible. Just pray to God about it, and He will lead you in the right place.
The fight was so unnecessary and uncalled for. I apologize for pulling you out of your car.
And everybody can use a little help sometime. Nothing is wrong with that. Me will buy a lunch, and no cabbage and rice.
Right now, anything we eat.
A patty and a box juice sound good?
Yes, God bless you, girl. You have a good heart.
From that day on, things changed. Kesha didn't just win the lottery, she won something more important. She showed everyone, including Shanice, that kindness is more powerful than cruelty.
Make sure you like the video.
Before you go, let's share some love. Supporting small creators can make a big difference. And today, I want to shine a light on a few amazing YouTube channels that deserve way more eyes on them. Chrisanne's Bible Story. If you love faith-based content and storytelling with a creative twist, this channel brings AI-generated Bible stories to life in a fun and unique way. It's currently at 213 subscribers, but we're speaking it into being. Let's push it to 300 and beyond. CJ's Corner, a sweet and colorful world for kids. This channel is packed with fun learning activities, coloring time, and kid-friendly joy. It's sitting at 14 subs, and with your help, we can bust it to a nice clean 100 real quick. Pom Pom Parade. If you're into cute and creative crafts, this is the place. From adorable art to simple DIYs, she's at 24 subs, and I feel like we can help her craft her way to 100 plus. Let's show her what community looks like. And bestie, don't forget to stay connected with me personally on The Kelly Effect. That's where you'll find the real me, behind the scenes, my daily life, seeing me try new things, more skits, vibes, and all the little things I don't always share on my AI-generated channel. It's raw, fun, and full of heart. Find out who is really Kelly Toons. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and leave a comment on these amazing channels. Let them know you came with love.